morning, everybody. I hope that you all had a good weekend and managed to relax and have some fun. The clocks go forward in 2 weeks' time, so I think on the 27th of March, but it certainly feels already that the days are getting longer and brighter, which is fantastic. Now we start with our photographs of the week. First one came in from Mr. Craddock, and I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can, but this is a map showing the flight path of an 80-year-old pilot from Germany, and he wanted to make a statement and protest against the invasion of Ukraine. So he took his plane out and then put the shape of a peace dove across North Germany, just north of Berlin. And everyone who was tracking it could see the shape of the peace dove taking shape as he was flying. So I thought, you know, each in our own way, we try to do something and make a statement. And this is what this pilot did. He felt so moved that he thought he had to do something. So thank you very much, Mr. Craddock, for sending that to me. That was our first photograph. Now, Mr. Gibson, he was out and about, sunny day, sunny weekend. Of course, Mr. Gibson will be out with his camera. And he went to Rockford Heath, Rockford Common, which I think is part of the New Forest, probably. Beautiful there, the gorse is coming into bloom. Bees will love it. But he sent me this photograph. He said this log pile, you can see freshly cut logs, that is owing to the storm damage, Storm Eunice. So this log pile goes on for a very long distance. They've had to clear all the fallen trees. And I think that was quite a symbolic photograph there of the sort of changes that are brought by nature. Is it natural clearance, or you know, is this our climate now? So thank you, Mr. Gibson, for sending those in. The next photograph, that was taken by me. So I drove up to Cambridgeshire on Friday night. My mother's 80th birthday, it was lovely. But the cathedral, Ely Cathedral, you can't see the sense of scale, but it's one of the largest, I think, probably in Europe. It is huge. And to try and support Ukraine, they have lit up the top of it. You can see it there in blue, but it's half blue, half yellow. So at night, I went around and walked around the outside of the cathedral. It's very atmospheric at night, and tried to capture that photograph. And it looks, that blue and yellow lantern, that top of the cathedral, you can see it for miles and miles around as you drive towards Ely in the darkness. Right, Mrs. Fernley sent me the next two, and I'm going to read what she said. So, Mrs. Fernley said, we have been looking at energy changes in chemistry with lower 4 and with upper 4. And we've got two photos. Both these photos that you're going to see are of exothermic reactions. Now, the first one is simply icing sugar and angel delight in the glass funnel being blown into the path of two Bunsen burners. So the combustion is extremely fast due to the large surface area of the powder. It's very spectacular. Do not do either of these at home. I'm just putting it out there. And the next one, this experiment is called the Screaming Jelly Baby. So a large jelly baby is dropped into molten potassium chlorate, and the energy is given out rapidly, oh dear, in the form of sound, heat and light. So you can hear the jelly baby making a little screaming noise. So thank you very much, Mrs. Fernley, for exothermic reaction photos. Keep sending them in, everybody. Teachers, staff, send them in. The next photograph, let's have a look. I had a message from Lottie. Lottie Hurst said, dear Mrs. Holloway, I did a dressage competition this weekend and Lottie came first, which is brilliant. So there she is. Well done, Lottie. How beautiful. I can hear the cheering upstairs. She must be in a full room above me, but very beautiful. And look how beautifully groomed her horses. So well done, Lottie. Thank you for sending that in. Now, I think it's time for the otters. Mrs. Chaplio sent me a video of otters in Singapore having a police escort to cross the road. Thank you very much, Mrs. Chaplio, for sending that in. And it's wonderful to see that otters are now being helped to return to Singapore. But the English teachers amongst you will have noticed that the collective noun for a group of otters on land is a romp of otters. But Miss Elford just checked to see what the collective noun was for a group of otters in the water. And then they are called a raft of otters. I think they hold together, they hug each other. Otters in the water. So this is the sort of education that you need to get every day, really, through assemblies. However, the best photo of the week came in from Mrs. Clems. Let's have a look. Can dancers, amazing, being sent in there. And I wanted to say a huge thank you and well done to our performers, to our hosts, to our waitresses, everybody who helped make the Linguists Dinner such a great success. Madam Clems and her team, wonderful evening. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but I've already had messages in from parents who were there saying what a phenomenal success it was and how much they enjoyed it. So I think we have some little clips to share with you to see what was going on.
Oui, je suis très belle. Je ne suis pas intelligente, mais je suis super belle. Moi, ma passion, c'est la science.
And those were taken, those were some clips from the rehearsals rather than the actual show. That's why some people weren't in their costumes, but great to see dancing, singing, performance, acting, fabulous, fabulous. So can we give everyone who was involved in that a huge round of applause? Absolutely brilliant, well done. And it's wonderful to see some live performances coming back in. So I'm very much looking forward to the Harry Potter themed event that's going to take place this Thursday, and I'm going to be there. I've been told I've got to dress up, so I'll make an effort. And we have the spring concert coming up the following week. And I was chatting with some of the upper six on Friday afternoon, and they were very excited about their spring ball. They've had a very tough term this term, working really hard with assessments and mocks, and it's lovely that they're going to have a chance just to let their hair down a little bit, metaphorically and physically. So this week is International Happiness Week, and it's difficult sometimes to think about happiness at a time when there is so much turmoil going on and suffering in the world, absolutely at the forefront of our minds. But one thing that has been impressed upon me as I've gone through my life, and it's something that I discussed with Mrs. Barham at lunch one day at length, is that actually happiness often is triggered by service to others, by helping others, helping the community, volunteering, getting involved. Because by doing so, you're lifting yourself out of your own world, and maybe a world where you've got your own emotions or problems or thoughts and concerns. And actually, by focusing on other people rather than yourself, it can help tremendously. And people who've done studies on depression or mental health have said time and time again, doing this has huge benefits to everyone, benefits to yourself, but also benefits to others. It gives you a real sense of worth and value, a sense of belonging, part of a community. Now, tomorrow, the upper five and the lower six are going to have a talk on the National Citizenship Scheme, and this has been organised by Mrs. Barham. And this is a really good initiative. It was set up by David Cameron when he was Prime Minister. And the aim was to have a huge body of young people to help charities and their communities so that they could do more and really boost this sense of big society and belonging. And many of the initiatives that David Cameron brought in, they've sort of moved on or changed. But this scheme is still going. And it's really well thought through. So young people aged 16 and above, I believe, so I think it's year 11 and year 12s, they're given the opportunity to do 2 weeks of volunteering work in the summer. And they'll get some work experience, they'll get some skills, they'll do charity fundraising, organise an event. And it would cost, if you wanted to do that and you organised it through a company, £1,200 per person. But it's massively subsidised so that it only costs young people £50 for 2 weeks of activities and events. And it's for young people across the area, Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole, girls and boys, an opportunity there to mix, make new friends, do something really worthwhile. And as I said, are there selfish reasons for doing it? Yes, of course, in the sense that you develop your skills, your experience, your knowledge. All of this will help with personal statements and CVs, but then altruistically, by helping others and giving of your time, focusing on work that will bring great benefit to those who really need it, you have time, you have energy, you have skill sets. All of that is really highly valued by other people. Doing this will also help your own sense of well-being, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. So please push yourself out of your comfort zones, be bold, be brave, take that step and do something for your community. So I have some notices this morning, and the first one is Duke of Edinburgh. So Duke of Edinburgh has been launched for upper 4, lower 5, upper 5, and lower 6 over the past 2 weeks. So can I remind all potential participants about the need to return their enrolment forms, and they're going to Miss Horgan in room 19 as soon as possible, because we want to get all these programs up and running, all the admin sorted for your skills, but also for your expeditions. So please, please get involved and do that. And it's wonderful post-pandemic, or we're still in the pandemic, but we're now at a stage where these expeditions and events and volunteering can take place. So make the most of this and get involved and get that information back to Miss Horgan. Right, the next notice is a notice about a sports scholars talk. So I think we've got the image here. This is from Mrs. Camp. She says, please could all sports scholars be aware that the next talk for them is the 23rd of March at lunchtime. And you can see here, it's by Philip Heritage, who's an expert, I think, in physiology and also psychology. And he'll be talking about injury prevention, sleep, rest and recovery. So things that are absolutely essential for those who are performing at a high level in sport. So sports scholars, that's put on for you, for your benefit. It's a wonderful program, and enjoy that and get involved. Now our skydivers, unfortunately, they were so excited, Mrs. Luke and Mrs. Marks, but owing to poor weather conditions, they were not able to jump out of the plane this weekend. So it's going to be rescheduled, and we'll keep you in the loop so that you know when it's coming up. It's still not too late to make a donation and support them. It's all for a very worthy cause. So we look forward to hearing all about that when it happens. Right, I'm going to hand over now to Reverend Burke for our prayer. Are you there, Jonathan?
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mrs. Holloway. Our prayer. We are a complicated people, O God, living in a confusing world of mixed messages. When we help to make a difference to other people's lives, we can be a positive influence for them and ourselves. Inspire us, O God, to be taken out of ourselves, to do good things, and finding that it also enhances our sense of worth and value. It brings happiness all round. We ask this in the name of a God who knows each and loves all. Amen.
Amen. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Bye.